A Git alias is a way to help us run a longer command or function in a much shorter Git command. If we get started with this, we can open up our Git config directory, which is typically found in our user's home directory. Now that I've got this, you can see I've defined this alias section here. So we can get started by defining one. We're going to call it st, and we're going to alias that to status. So now when I start to type in git st, you're going to see it gives me the output of the status command, as if I typed git status itself. It's not limited to just running that one individual command and shortening that. You can also pass through whatever arguments you want. So here I'm going to pass through git status -s to get the shorthand of the status. So if I go and type that command again, I can get the shorthand status and not have to remember the specific flags to pass through, which is pretty helpful. If I wanted to as well, I could come into the terminal and run something like git config --global alias.co checkout. So I can define an alias and append it to my global configuration from the terminal as well. So in this case, now if I run git co, that's going to run git checkout. And if I run any arguments after that, for example, git co main, that's going to check out the main branch. So pretty helpful there. But you can go a little bit of a step further. You're not limited to just one or two flags. You could get much more complex flags. So if I paste in this one here, we're setting up an alias called L, and that's going to run git log. It's going to give us a pretty one-line output for each log line. It's going to give us the latest 20, and we can pass through whatever other commits we want as well. So if I save this back and now run git L, we can see it's going to give me that really nice shorthand, pretty log output, rather than the basic, which is, if I just run that, quite different. It's showing a lot more detail in the logs there. So that's pretty helpful on its own, but it can go a step further, because all of the examples we've seen here are implicitly having, git put in front of it. So that's feeling pretty limited. But what we can do is we can append an exclamation mark to the start of any of the aliases that we define. And if we do that, all of the commands preceding that are going to come back into the shell that we're running in. So in this case, having the exclamation mark here is going to mean that we're going to be running in my CSH shell that I've got here. And then all of these commands after are just going to run normally. So here I can run git wip, and that's going to add all of my untracked and unsaved files, and I'm just going to commit them with a message of wip. So you can see how this starts to get really powerful, and you can do a lot of things really easily and save you having to type a bunch of characters for these common tasks.